despite the challenges and despite what we may sometimes buckle under, just because the weight becomes unbearable, becomes too much for us. And I tell you that we have so much power that we do not even sometimes know that we can pull through, scale through, and make sure that we do not go 6 feet under because of that particular challenge. That is usually the situation, personally, individually, and collectively. And when we look at Nigeria and its attendant challenges, talking about Fulani headsmen and farmers clashes across the country. Well, you may say there are some flashpoints when we look at this particular challenge. For example, in Benue State, you will recall that just last week, a particular group known as Vanguard Against TV Massacre, VATIM, gave a damning report claiming that no fewer than 500 people and 300,000 others have been killed and displaced, respectively. Well, that's a huge number, if you ask me. But this has been on for the past 5 years. Systematical killing of people, of farmers, of those who may be seen to be of less importance in the scheme of things in a particular community. You may also call this a communal clash, which results into insatiable thirst for occupying space, occupying land, and claiming territory. All these are related when you look at these issues of Fulani headsmen. Ogun State is not an exemption when we look at the different cases that will also recorded. Farms being destroyed, some of the women being raped, some of them being massacred, others the cases of arson, of so many atrocities committed by these armed headsmen. We've had the Fulani headsman head here in the studio one time, and he also confessed that some of these people are also alien to their own group and organization. Some come from neighboring countries like Niger Republic, like Mali, and the like. So it goes to show that there is a challenge of immigration and checking the influx of these aliens. How do we tackle this? What is the role of government in checking illegal migration of these aliens? So how can we control it? Is it going to be the exclusive responsibility of the Nigerian Immigration Service, NIS? What other measures can be put in place? Don't forget that the idea of the National Grazing Reserve Bill was mooted, but it was shut down by the National Assembly because it was seen to be unfavorable to the South. Well, something like that is also being looked into in Ogun State, which is our own primary constituency, without looking at what obtains in other states and, of course, in the nation in general. There's a particular bill right now in the floor of the House of Assembly called the Ogun State Animal Grazing Regulation and Cattle Ranch Establishment Law 2016. That is an interesting development, if you ask me. Who is the sponsor of this bill? What informed the sponsor of this particular bill? What are the modalities? What is the stage at which the consideration of this bill is right now in the State House of Assembly? These are the issues we'll be looking at this morning. Chienye.
Yeah, that's a big one. The unrest, the clashes between Fulani headsmen and then farmers. It's really a thing of concern. And I think this bill will be able to check against all that. And I hope it gets signed into law because it has just passed the second reading, and it holds so much.
Promise. Well,
yeah, it holds a lot of promise.
Well, Nigeria, it's not the absence of laws that is the problem of Nigeria. It's the implementation of those laws. So this could be, some may say, it could be a right step in the right direction. Others would disagree that it is not, it is uncalled for. But as you said, we might have this become law at the end of the day.
But
What about implementation?
you know one thing that amazes me, fire brigade approach. Nigerians are good at that. These are laws, these are things we know that we should, these are things we should pass into law. But when we begin to see the frequent, do you know how many lives that has been lost? All those things should have been passed all along so that we have those laws and then people don't go against them. But due to fire brigade approach by Nigerians, it is when things are getting out of hand, then you see the wake up and then sign one bill and then pass it into law and things like that. But what about the implementation? That's a big one. Implementation.
Well, that is one issue that some Nigerians will say very peculiar with the Nigerian government at all levels. Well, we have someone in the studio, actually the sponsor of this particular bill right now in the studio, Honourable Ganiyu Oyedeji. He's the representative of Ifo II State Constituency. He's a sponsor of the Ogun State Animal Grazing Regulation and Cattle Ranch Establishment Law 2016. Honorable Ganiyu Oyedeji, welcome to the Daybreak Show.
Thank you very much, and good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Honorable Ganiyu Oyedeji, what informed the sponsor of this bill?
Well, thank you very much. I thank you very much because I'm sure you have actually given a good background to the kind of problem we have in this country as far as this issue of grazing of animals is concerned. And you also recall that even though we talk about it generally in Nigeria, Ogun State is also part of it. And we know that in Ogun State, we have people over the years that have been, grazing animals. We've been having people doing this as a business. But lately, the fact still remains that the thing is now getting out of hand. Getting out of hand in the sense that we've been receiving different kind of petition in the House of Assembly concerning the activities of these herdsmen. And you know, if you talk about this Fulani, we believe that some of them were actually even born in this part of the state. They've been with us, for years and all that. And if we now find a situation in which their rank is being infiltrated by foreigners and all that, and different kind of criminal tendencies, activities is coming up, we believe that that responsibility lies on us to now put a law in place to really regulate these activities.
Okay, what does this bill entail?
Well, the bill actually is, as it has been put, Animal Grazing Regulation and Cattle Ranch Establishment Law. What we are looking at is to look at generally the activities of these Fulani herdsmen. We look at it that what they are doing is a business, and if you are doing your business should be done in such a way that will not affect other people's life, other people's businesses and all that. Yes.
Okay, the bill, like you said, seeks to regulate the activities of herdsmen and also ban them from carrying arms and other dangerous weapons. Do you think this will be achievable if this bill is passed into law?
Well, I believe it will be achievable because first we may say that implementation is a different ball game, but the first thing is at least you need to have a law in place before you start talking about how to implement it. Yes. So if people knows that there is a law in place that forbid you from doing this, from doing that, from carrying arms, from, I mean, on the need for you to have your ranch, if you, I mean, if you want to rear cattle and all that, then I believe that the necessary agencies that will ensure implementation will know what to really work with.
Now, Honourable Ganiyu, let us go into the nitty-gritty of this bill. What are the modalities that you are proposing, the infrastructure that must be put in place before this law can have full effect?
What we are thinking is that, like I said, those, I mean, we are going to have, I mean, we are proposing to have an agency that will be under Ministry of Agriculture, that their sole responsibility is to regulate the activities of these herdsmen. And we believe that if we have that, then those who want to engage in this kind of business activities will know where to go, what are the criteria, what are the requirements, what are the facilities that they need to have before, if they really want to, I mean, rear cattle within, or animals within Ogun State. So if we have all these things in place, then there will also be checks to also ensure that all the, I mean, necessary provisions of this law is also implemented. So it's just like what you used to have before, in which you have people, okay, specific individual, that their job is to ensure that they actually they actually ensure that these what do we call it, the bill or the law, when it become a law, is actually come into reality. Because like you said, it's one thing to have a law, is another thing to have implementation. But we want to have different provision there, that okay, for example, I want to maybe the business of rearing cattle, I need to have a ranch. What kind of ranch do I need to have? How do I ensure that maybe I need to fence off?
So there will be a regulatory agency
that will handle it. So that is the point.
Is that included in the bill?
Yes, yes, it's there.
Now, one major factor that you need to consider when you're talking about a bill of this magnitude and importance is land. Have you tried to, consider which particular location will be most suitable for this grazing or ranch settlement?
Well, the only areas that we, according to what we have here, that will not be suitable for it is maybe the urban area. Okay, what we are saying is not that the government is going to, or the profile lines for peoples and all that. It has to be privately driven. Okay, because like I said, I'm the one, for example, that says I want to engage in this business, right? So what the Ministry of Agriculture or the land, those who are in charge of land need to do is to ensure that, okay, in these areas, because we are also trying, it's also in the bill that each the local government, the SCDA will also be involved. Okay, so in each of these SCDA, of these local government, we want to look at which areas are suitable, okay, for this kind of activities, and those areas that are also suitable for it is not going to be free. Okay, so it's just a question, okay, we are giving you this area where you can, rear the animals, you can do whatever you want to do, you cannot go behind this area. Okay, and if you do anything outside that, then there's a law. Okay, and there's also penalty for offenses and all that. So that is what we are looking at.
Now, Honourable Oyedeji, I want you to please tell me, or tell our listeners, is there any kind of collaboration or synergy between you, the sponsor of this bill, the Bureau of Lands and Survey, and of course the Ministry of Agriculture, who are all concerned, who are all stakeholders in this kind of project?
Yes, we've actually, spoke with all these necessary agencies. But in the process of the bill, like you rightly said, we have moved from the first to the second reading. So the next stage we are going now is what we call the public hearing. And during the public hearing, the Bureau of Lands, the Ministry of Agriculture, all the necessary individuals, agencies that also have input to make as far as this thing is concerned will also come up to do it. So there will also be opportunity for them to actually have their input in what we are doing.
Honourable Oyedeji, aside from curbing the excesses of the herdsmen and then also regulating activities, what other advantages can be derivable from this bill?
Well, we've also have a situation in which even if you have ranch and you try and ensure that you rear your cattle within the ranch, that even the quality of even the animals that you rear within that environment is also better than the one when you start moving them all about. Even in terms of the milk and all that you even get from this kind of a thing is actually even better. Okay, so those are part of the things we are, and you know that we cannot continue with all these olden days of doing things that you think that you can start moving cattle from Abeokuta to Ayetoro or from Ayetoro in the job because you want to graze.
Okay, now one issue which you made me, you heard me make reference to Benue State earlier on last week when the attack was becoming unbearable. The governor spoke out and gave the headsmen 2-day ultimatum to leave the state. That particular ultimatum was not honored or obeyed. He also ordered the Nigerian police force to escort all headsmen out of the state. That particular order was not also obeyed. What do you make of this?
Well, my make from that is that it's also because in these states and some of all these peoples, they've been so entrenched, okay, within all these communities within the state that it's not just easy for you to ask them to go the way they are doing. And this bill, what we are trying to also do is to also prevent things like that, because by the time you start doing things over the years, some of them have been there for ages, they've been doing this, and there is no law that really regulates. Just like what the other matter was saying, that it's a fire brigade something. So if you just wake up one day and you say you give them 2 days, you give them 3 days, how are they going to, where will they go? Okay, so that is what I can say about that. It's just because over the years nobody thought of coming up with how their activities should be regulated, and somebody just wake up one day and say, okay, we gave you 2 days, you need to leave. I think things like that is very, very going to be difficult to really achieve. And part of what we are saying is that we don't want to wait in Ogun State until when we now have that kind of situation at hand.
I'm surprised that this is coming now, because people have actually lost their lives. They've lost family members, lost farmlands, lost farm produce, lost properties to clashes between headsmen and farmers in Ketu, in Okia, in so many of those areas. So I'm taken aback when you say that you don't want situations like that of Benue to arise before you come up with this. But what has happened in the cases where which I've mentioned?
It's true that actually, like I said initially, that it's also based on different kind of petitions, complaints, killing of people, destroying of farmlands and all that, something will actually prompt something, okay? It may be true that maybe this thing should have come the last 2 years, the last 1 year, the last 5 years and all that, but at least it's coming now, okay? And you know that our situation in Ogun State has not reached what you have in Benue State, what you have in some of all these the states. And the only way we can prevent a situation where we wait to to that kind of what I know life has been lost. I mean, there's no doubt about it in Ogun State, but it does not reach what you have in Benue State and some of all these northern states. So that is the point I'm making, that we don't want to wait till when the thing now become something that we not be able to, really control. But we know that the situation at Ogun State presently, by the time because the Fulani herdsmen will also be part of it, we are going to invite them. Okay, they are going to also have their own inputs and all that. Okay, so we know that if we do that, definitely it will be better, okay, managed than the situation we have in other part of another state.
Okay, in previous times, we had 1, 2, or 3 cases of these clashes before it escalated and metamorphosed into what it is today. Can you tell us where we got it all wrong at the very beginning?
What I can say about that is that, sometimes when you start some activities, people will think it's just maybe a one-off kind of a thing. We don't need to be bothered about these things. And like I said, some of all these people, the Fulani we are talking about too, they have also been, some of them were even born here in Ogun State. They have been with us over the years. So if you look at it from that angle, you know that we have not really looked at them as for any, a threat. Okay, we didn't look at them as a threat. Okay, so but when the situation now changed and these people start, this question of being the infiltration now comes in, and by the time you are still looking at this person, you think is I cited an example. There was a time the Excellency, I think he went to one of this area in Ayetoro side and all that, and he saw people. Maybe just a guy, very small guy, rearing cattle, and he tried to call on, the person. They were those people who can speak Hausa, and they spoke with the person English and all that. The guy did not even understand what they are saying until someone said, this person cannot even, he doesn't hear Hausa, you didn't hear, part of the entourage, you see people who want to speak different language. And they say, okay, come, 1B, only to find out that the person you think is just a Fulani person is just somebody that even understands. That the only thing he understood is this Yoruba, because he was actually born here. So the point I'm trying to make is, because over the years we didn't look at these people as threats. We thought they are part and parcel of us, okay, and we thought the thing will continue like that. Okay, I think that is where the issue are, because without that, maybe all these kind of laws, the regulation will have been put in place over the years.
All right, now, Honourable Oyedeji, how would you convince the indigenous of Ogun State out there who oftentimes believe that when you come up with laws like this, or bills, as it were, it is only to benefit those who are highly placed, politically exposed persons who want to get land allocated to them and want to have use their position and power to get cattle ranches, so that when they leave offices they can have something to fall back on, rather than tackling the menace of the onslaught of land headsmen against farmers.
Well, like I said, that we are going to publicize this. We are going to allow the input from all well-meaning people of Ogun State to be part of what we are doing during the public hearing. They are all going to be invited. The traditional rulers, the community development associations, the farmers, and all that. So by the time it's all encompassing, that everybody already got involved. It's not just something that, okay, within the House of Assembly we just did, or between the House of Assembly and the government did something and they just want to force it on people. No, that is not going to happen. So my belief is that by the time we do all this and we try to involve everyone that needs to be involved, then they will see that, I mean, looking at it from also what is also happening in every other part of the country, and that also started happening within our own state, then people will actually realize the fact that it's not just about benefiting the rich one, or like you have said.
Okay, let's look at security now. Let's look at illegal migration of illegal aliens. Who is to be blamed for this?
Well, that, is part of what we are saying, that our borders are so porous, and some things also need to be done in that area. And it's not just about the aliens coming in different. If you recall that was not last week or so, we raised issue like this at the plenary of the House of Assembly concerning what is happening with our people selling rice, and the way uh, the customs treat them and all that. So we believe that something needs to be done at the border. Those who have responsibility to ensure that foreigners should not be coming in must do their job. Those who are not doing their job also need to, be sanctioned.
All right, if you're just joining us, it's Citizens from this beautiful Monday morning. And what we're looking at this morning concerns every one of us. We're looking at Fulani headsmen and farmers clashes, increased attacks on communities by these armed Fulani headsmen, with a special focus on the Ogun State Animal Grazing Regulation and Cattle Ranch Establishment Law 2016. We have the sponsor of this particular bill in the House, Honourable Ganiyu Oyedeji, member representing Ifo II state constituency. According to him, the bill is still in the second reading. It's now at the committee level. Afterwards, the committee will actually submit the report to the committee of the whole House, and then after the third reading, it will be passed into law, waiting for the assent of Mr. Governor. Now, Honorable Oyedeji, people have been skeptical about this issue of having grazing reserves, cattle ranches, and all that, because many are apprehensive or of the opinion that this could be aiding and abating an expansionist agenda of some northerners who want to forcefully or tactically take over portions of land across different regions other than where they are from. How do you react to these insinuations?
Well, I believe I also read listening to, different things like that, and even over the years, it has also actually kept people away from actually doing what I think is the right thing. And it may be true that we have it in some other places, this kind of expansionist tendency from the Fulanis and all that. My belief is that this has been happening over the years just because you don't have, like I said earlier, because you don't have the law in place, okay, to regulate some of these things. It's possible for Fulani people, like I said, that were, they came around here. Our fathers in those days would just say, okay, go and pick, settled in these areas. There is nothing to regulate them that, okay, this is for you, this is, we are giving you 1 acre of land or 1 plot of land, nothing like that. Okay, by the time they were there, over the year, they continue to expand and think that everything is theirs. Okay, but what we are talking about now, to me, is different from that, because there will be regulations, there will be specific things that you need to do if you want to have a ranch. It's not that we give you 1 plot of land and at the end of the day you are claiming 10 plots of land. So that will not happen. So I just want to use this opportunity to let our people really knows that all these we've been hearing about, okay, is 10, because what will be the alternative? Because we still need to, I mean, we need cattle, we need all these things in this part of is another thing. If it's okay, we don't even want any animal. We don't need animal in our part of in our state again. But as long as we continue to need this, then the best approach, instead of just continue to hide under the fact that if they come or they will take over our land, they will take, no, that will not happen.
Okay, one more important thing. The farmer whose farmland has been devoured, or victims who have been affected by this clash, any compensation for them?
Yes, there will be. You know, it's something that we've been having over the years. Even when we were even doing this during this second reading, example was cited is what have been happening. Even some people that actually even commit suicide because their farmland were actually destroyed and all that. So what we've said, I mean, it's also part of the bill that by the time you allow your cattle, okay, to stray outside where it should and destroy somebody farmland, the total cost of whatever that has been destroyed will have to be borne by the owner of that cattle. Yes, so that is part of what we have in the bill.
Now, the economic importance of this bill is very, very much relevant to the discussion. What do you think would be the economic benefits that will accrue if this bill is passed into law?
Yes, that, you start from what you said. Economically, what we are talking about in the area of farming and all that, these days we need it in this part of in this state, okay. And you imagine a situation where millions of naira has been spent on your farm, you have your crops and all that, and I mean, this cattle from nowhere, maybe from Ayetoro, just come down to Ijebu to destroy all what you have. So all that will not be there, and it's our belief that that will make the people who are farmers to be happy and to be sure that all these things will not be there. And like I also said that even for because at the end of it, it's going to be a win-win situation. The farmer will have their own benefit. The government will also benefit from, I mean, if you have ranch, maybe you also need to pay certain rates or whatever to the government. They also be, I mean, the community within where they are will also benefit in the sense that they can sleep with their eyes closed, not having that fear that some people will come and invade them, destroy their houses and all that. And the owner of the cattle too, like I said, that if by the time they start doing it from what we had in in the research, that even the one you breed within this ranch is economically going to, benefit you better than. So by the time they have all this, I'm sure that everybody will know that it's a win-win situation.
All right. One other issue which I want you to quickly touch on is the processes to actually get involved in this as a private indigenous of Ogun State or as a private investor. Um, Normally, the procedure, if you want to get land, is to either visit the Bureau of Lands and Survey, or the Ministry of Agriculture, in case you want to go into very huge commercial farming, like setting up a cattle ranch. But in this case, whereby you want to directly tap into the benefits or the opportunities that this bill or law may provide, how do you go about it?
Like I said, by the time the law is passed, then you will know where to go. The agency that will be in charge.
Has this been discussed at all? Because you seem to.
The discussion actually will have to come up during the public hearing. Okay.
Okay.
Because during that period, all parties will have to come with their own
and agree on
on
a
the
particular
model that you want to use. Okay, so that is because maybe we leave that still when the bill is actually passed, so that we cannot actually not give what I'm proposing, and people think that is the. So by the time we now make some changes, it may be confusing.
Not all the parties and stakeholders agree on a particular model. All right, right now we have to go on a break for the national news at 10. After the national news, we'll come back and continue our discussion. We'll still have in the studio Honourable Ganiyu Oyedeji, member representing the Ifo II state constituency in the Ogun State House of Assembly. He is the sponsor of the bill tagged Ogun State Animal Grazing Regulation and Cattle Ranch Establishment Law 2016. In the meantime, you can start sending your messages, questions, comments, whatever it is, to 32120. Type rock, ROCK, leave a space, type your message, include your name, and forward it to 32120. If you're on social media, that is also available. Our Facebook page remains Rock City FM 11.9. Just drop your comments on our post. It's already there. Drop your comments and questions as it were. I will also read them. Our Twitter handle remains at Rock City FM. Just tweet us your questions and comments. If you think there are other alternatives to this particular law, you can also suggest so that the Honourable in the House may, how do you put it, may incorporate it into what they are working on before it becomes law. All right, stay with us. We'll be back. You're welcome back. It's still Citizens Forum on the Daybreak Show. This is for Monday morning, the 28th of March 2017. We're looking at the issues related to Fulani headsmen and farmers' clashes or host communities, and just posing it with the Ogun State Animal Grazing Regulation and Cattle Ranch Establishment Law 2016. A bill that is currently on the floor of the House of Assembly, Ogun State, sponsored by Honourable Ganiyu Oyedeji, a member of the House of Assembly representing Ifo II state constituency. He's right here in the studio. You can be part of this discussion in different ways, 4 different ways actually. You can call our studio lines at 0809-868-7344, 0909-146-9670, or you send your contributions as messages. 32120 is the shortcut number. All you have to do is to type rock, ROCK, leave a space, type your message, include your name, and forward it to 32120. If you're on social media, our Twitter handle is at Rock City FM. Just tweet us your contributions. On Facebook, we have our Facebook page, Rock City FM 11.9. And this particular topic is already posted on our Facebook page. You can just drop your comment there. Honourable, the Ogun State's Animal Grazing Regulation and Cattle Ranch Establishment Law 2016. How soon will this become law?
Well, I believe the stage we are now is within the couple of weeks now.
Within a couple of weeks?
It will be, it will go to go for the public hearing, like I said, and immediately after that, then it will go for third reading, and just the governor assent will remain. So plus or minus, although I will not be able to say it has to be 1 week, 2 weeks, because that is have to be done by the House, but I'm sure in a couple of weeks it will become a law.
Has there been any input from the Ministry of Justice?
And I'm saying that it is at the level of the public hearing that
there will be.
They will do that.
All right,
Okay,
the lines are buzzing already.
Yeah, seriously.
Let's start with the calls. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Good morning, Chienye.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good morning, Honourable.
Yeah, good morning.
How are you, sir?
Fine, thank you.
I am Taiwan. My area is Nigeria. I want to see how our legislators are not taking up. I don't see why they careless because Ogun citizens. Not only our legislators here, throughout Nigeria. These menace of herdsmen should have been stopped a long time. So, somebody said, one airline, Nigerian airline, said, this is a question of Fulani attempting to dominate the whole of Nigeria from north to south if they are not careful. Because how can it be so? Federal Capital Territory, they are there. The enemy state, they are there. In the east, they are there. In Edo, in Delta, they are there. In Oyo State, they are there. In Ogun State, they are here. Last week, they cried out about the menace of this happening. So we are not doing anything. They are saying the bill is in it should have been put in place a long time. Look at so many farms that have been devastated. And we are looking at them. They have killed our people. They have raped our women. They have killed innocent farmers. Only God knows the amount of farm products they have lost. I think you've got to wake up in that assembly and say Nigeria and do something to help us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Yes, good morning.
My name is Comrade Mr. Wariwokon on the line.
Okay, could you be more audible, please?
Okay, can you hear me now loud and clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yes, actually, I just joined the program, but I can understand what you are discussing to some extent. Talking about the raising the
That was
about the fact in the house. Yes, it's a welcome development, highly commendable and appreciable. It is long, overdue. So I want to give it to the honorables in the house. Yes, I believe that the Fulani herdsmen, we all know that some of them are very violent and aggressive. So because I don't see most of them complying, because compliance is the ultimate goal of any conference program. So I want to call on the house to please, just like what some people are saying, that they should set up a task force that will monitor the modus operandi, the activity and the preoccupation of these Fulani herdsmen, because most of them, they encroach on people's land, most especially farmers. So I don't see them complying. So there must be a kind of task force from all the security agencies that will make sure that they comply by power by force, because we all know that the recalcitrant nature of this Fulani herdsmen. So it is very important. So I want our honourable to look critically into that. It is very important. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hello, good morning.
How are you? Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Sinai, the code of speaking.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes. I see no reason why they should bring that thing to the House of Assembly at all. I can say our representatives are playing with the head of a cobra. If you give the Fulani one, he will take 10.
and they have a sponsor in the same nation last Sunday yesterday. Total domination of Nigeria by the Fulani is in the offing, and they are causing drought, hunger, and reduction of the population of Ogun State sons and daughters. I see no reason why you should do that. In the Niger Delta, the Ijaws, they gave their governor 7 days to send us these people away with their cows. In Benue, they are planning to drive them away. The governor has done that. What is our governor doing? Has he a commission? Is he receiving commission from all these people? Is the House of Assembly, are they receiving commission? Why must they be toying with the lives of sons and daughters of Ogun State? Please. And I don't know why Baba Obasanjo did not say anything about the Fulani, but I just know that they are being sponsored to occupy our own Nigeria, and we don't think we can allow that. So, if you think your bill and throw it out entirely, I have experienced it. I know what's going on. Please, our House of Assembly member, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tobi.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Honourable.
Good morning.
Yes, my name is Tunde Omolaolu. I am calling from Abeokuta. Yeah. Yes, I think the legislation against the negative activities of this area is long overdue, as some people have said. I agree with the Honourable, sir. It is because, there has been no law to checkmate the
Hello.
that is making them to overdo things. And 20 a.m., to farmers, security men, and even other citizens across the state and in other parts of Nigeria. So what I am now, implying is that the cattle ranch is properly, done and monitored. Should not be left alone to government. It should be done on PPP arrangement and public-private partnership. And all local governments must have, their own thing independently, which should be properly monitored too on PPP arrangement. Aside this, the curriculum of students studying and our boundaries to be widened to include all these suggestions. Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, Tobi.
Good morning.
Good morning, Chair. Honourable, welcome to Rock City. My name is Dr. Uncle. Honourable, I have 3 issues. One is that I don't believe in bills because they are just there. I'm sure you are sponsoring that bill so that next time we will vote for you. Not that I want to follow it to the end. Let me explain what I mean. If you go to Yano Mortuary and you see traffic lights, very few people obey it. And not very sanction. When you make a law and you don't enforce it, it's as useless as anything. That's what happened. At traffic lights, nobody obeys it. People just jump across it and we say we are traffic lights. If you know you cannot police people in the traffic light, let us continue in our wayward ways. Number 2 is that what is it that you want to get with that bill is to stem the Fulani herdsmen. The meaning of it is that if they refuse to come now, then it becomes a useless bill. I would have expected a situation where food security should be embedded in it. What we are interested in is food security. What do we do if the Fulani herdsmen stop coming? How do we get our cows, our goats, and all that? What happens if they decide that enough is enough? People are abusing us. We are not coming. Is it inside that your bill? Because everything is all about cattle ranch and Fulani herdsmen. There may be no Fulani herdsmen tomorrow. What happens to our food security? Thank you very much.
Thank
All right,
you,
thank you.
Dr. Uncle. Hello. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Hello. Yes. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Mr. Tobi and Chienye.
Good morning.
And our guest, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Victor.
Yes, sir. I'm only want to understand that from the director to the sweeper of this administration have spent us money. They use us as ladder to climb. I want you to remember what happened to Mulufala here, or if I'm not wrong. The man they kidnapped last time, they're not trying to pass a will for those people that kidnapped to be killed because they are the people that own the land. These people now is the masses. This thing has been existing for long. They are yet to pass a law. What are the people that are selling dogs? And you are still thinking that there's no way of doing it except they go around to destroy that thing that he asked us to be doing. Like everybody to go to farm. I plant it, they come to destroy it. I want to go to Ibadan. There is a Sabo there, and there is a Koro village. So in the other state. And then those people taking the place that doesn't belong to them. Masses are dying. Why are you people handling us so? Remember that there are people that will vote you people tomorrow. Have a nice day.
You too. Thank you. Okay, let's add. Okay, Honourable Oyedeji, quickly react to that and then we take the messages and tweets and go back to the calls.
Okay, thank you. But from what we've heard, I'm sure that we all agree that there are issues, there are problems, and we need to tackle these hands-on. From that time, for example, if we know that these things supposed to have come maybe a long time ago, but it's coming now. So I think with the support of everyone, it will become a law that need to be implemented. The comrade also agree with that in this area of violent aggressiveness and all that. And the issue of task force to really monitor these activities is also key. And in the area of compliance, but it's for us in the House of Assembly to make law. The compliance will not be our responsibility, but the law will actually regulate what needs to be done. Over the years ago, like it has been said, and we know that, like Mr. Omolalo also said, it's not overdue. We need a law, and I also agree with him in this area of PPP because not everything that the government will do, and it's also part of the what we have as a bill presently that it will also be private ownership will also be allowed in this area of ranch and all that. And what Mr. Majekodume was saying, this area of still in line with these expansionist issues, but if you say it's an expansionist issue, we just still need to find a solution to that because, like Dr. Munko said, if these people stop coming, what will be the next? And like I said earlier on, if we still want to be, these animals, we need these cattle and all that, then we need to regulate the activities. And it is because we've not done that over the years. I agree that maybe it will have been done many years ago, but we are doing it now. We are not, I was not there, for example, in the 7th Assembly. I'm there in the 8th Assembly, and we are doing it. So we may say that maybe they will have done it before, but we are doing it now, and we know that it will see the light of the day, and the compliance will also be ensured.
Okay, quickly, we have quite a number of tweets here. We have this one from Youth and Radio. The issue of grazing animals is one of the problems we're having in Nigeria, and herdsmen turn out to be criminals. Okay, then we have John Adiolu Bravo. Honorable, please, what is the national legal framework against this herdsmen conflict before we consider our regional control?
Okay.
Then Still from John Adiolu Bravo, herdsmen mostly operate on farmlands and rural areas where security watch is less present. How do we then apprehend offenders? Has there been any recompense for farmers and victims whose farms have been devoured? 3 questions in one. Okay, moving on to Gab Kunle. Ohori land has been at the Ohori land has been at the receiving end of this herdsmen's problem. Do you think this bill will not backfire in the future? Then, still coming from John Adiolua Bravo, Honorable, do you view that government may take up cattle rearing and dairy food production to employ youths and forestall herdsmen activities? Yemi Da Vinci, this bill is a welcome development. Can the Honorable please highlight some of the most important aspects of this bill, if there is any?
Okay, you want to quickly react?
No, we still have some more.
Okay.
Then this is coming from Gab Kunle. Before you pass the bill, please come to Kumi in Igbokofi land in Yewa North local government and see how these people wrought havoc over there. Then Yemi Da Vinci, provision for jailing herdsmen caught with unlicensed weapons or refuse to pay compensation for destruction by their cattle. Honorable, do you think this bill will help my own people in Ohori land? Then Gab Kunle, nobody in Igbo Kofi land has ever been compensated for farmland destruction and killings. Instead, they have been maltreated and imprisoned. Surakat Abiodun, herdsmen attack, Ogun worst affected, and if care is not taken, we will witness food crisis. So the law should be enforced accordingly. Then we have this one from Akorede Camille Adebayo. The problem of these Fulani headsmen is still occurring and reoccurring, and so I implore our lawmakers to expedite their actions. Reaction?
Yeah. Okay, thank you. From all this, like I said, it's still bothered to the fact that we all agree that there are problems and we need solution to it. And part of these solutions we're also proposing is to have this law in place. Take for example all those people that, especially this Igbo Kofi land, Hori land, and all that, that their things have been destroyed, no compensation paid, and all that. Compensation will not be paid because we don't have any law to really direct them on the need to.
Must we have a law in place before government accept responsibility and shows some kind of humane face in this situation?
Well, like you said, that would be just humane face, okay? But if someone has destroyed another person's land and we have a law in place that says if you do, this is the penalty, this is what. So even whatever comes from the government will be an additional thing. But as of today, we don't have anything like that in place. So that is the point we are making. You know, it's not as if government will not have not been coming with this women fees and all that, but it will not be enough to really take care of the kind of destructions we are having all over the place. So I agree with all of them. Okay, someone said I need to also ensure that we come to the land, the Ohori land, before we do that. So the thing is that the committee stage, we also need to also invite them. I've taken notes of what they have said. Some of these people also from this area will be invited to the public hearing where they will, their input will also be taken into consideration before we take the final decision on this bill.
Okay, let's go to the messages now before we go back to the calls. This one from MOK Nayetoro says, good morning everyone in the studio. To me, we don't need cattle ranches in Ogun State. Why? Herdsmen are often provoked because of the weapons within their reach, which they use to unleash terror on the people. A way of folarizing our state. What's an adjective? And the nation. Those injured or killed or have their farms destroyed have not been compensated. What is their fate? Finally, who controls their movement and activities? That's MOK. And this one says, do you need to call a committee to kill a snake? Our laws are toothless bulldogs that can only bark but can bite. Olu sent in that one. That bill or law may not work, please. They have their backing, and we Southerners are afraid of them, except Abuja intervenes. Kayode from Randa sent in that message. Abdulrashid Okela says, I want to sincerely appreciate the Honourable in the House for deeming it fit to at least start from somewhere. This is how Boko Haram started. Instead of us to do the needful, we begin sentiment, tribalism, and Islamized it. We were once living peacefully with these headsmen. Why now that we can't live together peacefully? Something went wrong. Hope we are not cheating on them. Though they are temperamental, they are aggressive, and Omotidabo, the word. Foreign headsmen have mixed up. Our security personnel needs to do the needful. That's Abdurrashid Okela. And this one says, good morning, Tobi and Chienye. Our lawmakers are not being sincere to us. It's because your governor is a right man of President Buhari, and President Buhari is a Fulani man. That's why you're coming up with this. God day. That's Kolawole Joseph's opinion. The Fulani Palava is a very serious issue. This Tagli Act has been on for decades, and it's becoming more pronounced of recent in this part of the country. A joint patrol of the vigilante, police, and other security agents should be set up to keep them in check. You want to quickly react to this?
Thank you very much. Well, I agree with some of what the issue is. MOK, for example, talk about all these weapons they are having and all that, and that we have provisions in the law, because you cannot say because they are carrying weapons they are easily provoked and we are not going to do anything. So it's part of the law that if you carry weapons, there is a penalty for you, up to, we have it ranges between 5 to even 20 years imprisonment for offenders, okay, and where the thing also results into loss of life, we also recommend it can also be up to, if you, lead to the loss of life, then the person will also have to lose his own life. So if we have all these provisions in the law, we believe that that will also, prevent them to also do all these what they are doing. And from what Abdurrashid also said, that we need to do something and forget about all these sentiments that they are there to take all our land. Like someone said, that it's because our governor is a friend of the head of state, that the head of state is a Fulani and all that. It has nothing to do with this. When we have issues, I think the best approach is to really see how to really solve the problem instead of being sentimental about it. And I believe that with this law in place, all these issues that have been raised will be caught, and we want peace in Ogun State, and this will be achieved.
Alright, let's go back to the calls. So 009-868-7344, 0909-146-967. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Prince Ojo, speaking from Okeshiko here in Abeokuta.
Thank you.
Good morning, our resource stand.
Good morning.
These herdsmen are doing what they are doing because of strong backing by a powerful force in the government. It is unfortunate, very unfortunate. Why are they allowed to be going about sophisticated weapons? Since they have been committing these atrocities, how many of them have been arrested, sentenced, or charged for murder?
apart from Boko Haram, the herdsmen are another major threat in this country. May God help us.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, my sister and brother there, Tobi.
Good
Good
morning.
Good
morning.
morning, the resource person there in house.
Good
Thank
morning.
you. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, I think I so much appreciate you. And Nigeria does not need to be lawless. So legislation is one of those things that can help. But my fear is that, don't you consider these people to be a threat to national unity? All over the place you find them, just anywhere, carrying AK-47 with so sophisticated weapons and so on and so forth. Some people have opined that it is a fashionist tendency that they are promoting. And if we now legislate and say, okay, these people you should operate under a particular law, and then they begin to disrespect that law, because these people, they are very lawless. I want to believe they go all about killing and maiming and doing all sorts of things like that. And the presidency has told us that these people, they are from different countries, from neighboring countries. Why don't we send them packing? Let them ask them to go back to their country, so that the little herdsmen will have the indigenous half, we can protect them, and then we can legislate upon their activities. Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Ayade from Abeokuta.
Thank you.
Honourable, good morning.
Good morning.
I have 3 questions, really.
Okay.
The first one is, you said in your analysis that they enter any farm, that there is compensation in the law for whatever they destroy. Do you see that as a punishment enough for that infraction? I would have expected that you will put it in the law that they should pay for what the farmer is expecting. If I plant my farm and my cassava has gone for 2 months and somebody destroys it, you are not only destroying what is on ground, you are destroying what I'm supposed to earn from it. So I think probably that law needs to make it a punishment, not just a compensation. Then secondly, Dr. Ngon spoke about the issue of enforcement. I know it's beyond the lawmakers, but is there anything the lawmakers can do to ensure that this law that you are passing will actually be enforced? Then thirdly, sir, I expected that as the lawmakers are passing this bill in place, you are giving 2 options, ranch or grazing area. Don't you think it's better for us to have a ranch? Anybody that wants to rear cattle should have a ranch than begin to get into the bottleneck of land acquisition in our terrain here that can lead to other things. Can we restrict it to ranch? Let them keep within an area if you really want to go into cattle business. These are my three questions. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Add one more call to it.
Yes.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, who's on the line?
Good morning, sir.
Good
We
morning.
can hear you. Good morning.
My name is Agofia, the call for Lafayette.
Okay, go on.
Don't talk always go in a different way. Your focus doesn't study for woman being. You know and it's wrong. My son was talking to you on the farmer. I plant cassava. Last year that you saw my cassava farm, I go to Adato police station. The camera follow me with video the whole farm, everything, but what you call to me, I mean, see some money. And this year, the record of the farm, the worst is this year, before I need that we root the cassava to the malu to eat. Let the second do something very quickly, otherwise, this thing is getting worse, and they are coming with the gun, dagger, and everything. That is all, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Hello. Hello. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Tobi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am Abarere.
Okay.
I'm calling from Michelle. Good morning. Good morning, the guests in the house.
Good morning.
Honourable.
Good morning.
And Honourable, honestly, I totally disagree with you. about this deal of a thing. Because if you are pressed the banks of the nomadic Fulani, nobody will not any idea of any deal. It will be criminality and deterrent. Because if I may even quote small experience that I had when I was the security chief in Kebbi State, precisely in Bonka local government. We have grazing land allocated to these people, but they will veer away from that grazing land and go into farmland and destroy them. So what we did was impound their cattle. Their cattle were impounded, and I, as the security chief of the local government, I went to the court to seek court order. And after some time, all those over 300 cattle were auctioned. So those are the types of things we need, not bill. Because full animal will not wait for you. If you are, you will stay away from that grazing land and enter into any farm they treat and destroy those farms. So very stringent deterrent is supposed to be, laid down, not this bill of, because they will laugh at it and they will do the work. So honestly, I think you people should rethink. Well, that is why I off my heart for the governor of Ekiti State. And that is the measure.
Okay.
If you get into another farmland and you destroy their land, your cattle will be impounded. So that is what we need, not the bill, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Barry. That will be the last call we'll be able to accommodate. We just add these messages and tweets, and then let Honourable Oyedeji react. The Fulani Palava is a very serious, I think we had that one earlier. No laws to compensate the farmers whose farm were destroyed, but you people want to create grazing lands. Do we have any law for that? Kola Wale Joseph is asking that question. I was at my farm some time ago when I saw Fulani headsmen with a cattle crossing my farmland, so I stopped them and he said he would shoot me. He brought out a gun and he shot me 4 times. Well, thanks to my father for preparing me well with Ijebu charms. I pinned him down and called 2 of my boys to beat him up and chop his finger, which he used in pulling the trigger before handing them over to the police. That's Awuyemi from Ijebu North local government. That's a hands-on experience there. I'm over 70 and I know these headsmen were around then, but only with bows and arrows. But now with guns, let them register as soon as they come to any state so as to monitor their movement. That's comfort from Ibarra. Ranching ordinarily should be open business, not restricted to a particular group or government. Imperative agricultural institutions like FUNAB with demonstration ranches should be consulted and involved. That's Cosmos.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, quickly we add the street so that you wrap it up on this segment. Akorede Camille, enacting a law is good, but without enforcement, then it's nothing. Our security personnel have much on their hands. Oladayo Joseph, a typical Fulani man believes they are in power, so they can do anything since their tribe is in power. Then since the president got to power, the attack has increased greatly. If you really observe that, God will help us.
All right, Emmanuel Daros from Kotopo posted this on our Facebook page. Morning to the Honourable in the House. Please, sir, can you kindly tell us if it is an appropriate thing for CDAs to prohibit these Fulani grazers from entering their community? Even if it's appropriate, how can the CDAs lawfully prosecute any apprehended culprit? Daros from Kotopo sent in that one.
Okay, quickly react to that, Honourable.
Okay, thank you very much. The lot has been said, and most of these questions also, Prince Ojo, strong backing, sophisticated weapon, is a major threat and all that. We all agree there is, if something is a major threat apart from Boko Haram, then it also means that we need to do something about it. This issue of strong backing is never here nor there, but if it's a major threat, then something needs to be done, and that is what we are doing. And talking about, we realize the fact that it's true that some of them are going with all these weapons, AK-47 and all that. They are lawless, but by the time we put the law in place, then they will know that we have something to really have, ensure that we check them. All these their excesses. Mr. Ayade, pay for farmer expectation. I agree with you. We'll also look at that, and now I'm saying that during the public hearing, we also look at that the compensation should not be limited to what they destroy, but we also look at the area of what the farmer is actually expecting. It's still open, and that can also still be incorporated. Then the God-fearing is cassava was destroyed. It's also true, but by the time we have this law in place, I'm sure it will actually check some of these. Babariri talking about his own experience as security chief and all that. The auctioning of cattle that was done, according to him, if you want to auction any cattle too, you also need to have a law in place to really say you have the right to do that. So, and that is part of what we are saying. Mr. Awuyemi, that's a good one because that's a practical experience, but not everybody will have that kind of that juju one to be able to take care of yourself in case of. So, what will happen to those who doesn't have that? And so I know that for you, you can really defend yourself, but we have millions of our people in Ogun State that may not have that. So with this law, they will also be, taking care of comfort. Well, it's an open business, like you said. It's not going to be only, and that's why we said it's going to be a PPP thing to certain extent. And lastly, on whether whether the security agencies and all that, we want to assure you that during the public hearing, we are going to invite all these security agencies. They also be part of it, we get their own input, so that at the end of the day, by the time the bill is passed, the implementation will be easy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Ganiyu.